So make sure that you have all the words filled in, and then I'm just going to go over the concepts really quick. So this one, tangent chord angle theorem, what this states is that when you have this secant, and secant's a new word today, a secant is a line that just goes through the circle like this, and this secant crosses the tangent at the point of tangency, and this arc is double the degree measure of the angle. So you can take the arc and divide by 2 to get the angle measure. Or you could take the angle measure and multiply by 2 to get the arc. So angle times 2 equals the arc measure in degrees. Okay, and the next concept, I'm just moving my paper over here. Okay, so for this one, we're going to be finding angle measure. So to find like the measure of angle 1, you would have to find the average of these two arcs. So you would add up those measures and then divide by 2. And it has the equation here. Here it shows that you're adding them and then multiplying by 1/2, which is the same as dividing by 2. So however you'd like to think about it, it's fine. And then the last concept before we start solving is right over here. Here you have like angle that crosses the circle. To find this angle measure, you would have to do 1/2 and then subtract this arc from this arc. So it would be arc BC minus arc BC minus arc AC. So you would subtract these two arc measures, then divide by 2 or multiply by 1/2, however you'd like to think about it. The reason why I say divide by 2 is in the calculator, it's easier to divide by 2 than multiply by 1/2. Okay, now we're going to move over to the workbook. And this is one of those skills that you just have to practice with examples. So we're going to do a lot of examples. Okay, starts out pretty simple. It wants to know the measure of angle 1 right here. So we are going to just add these two arcs and divide by 2 to find the average, and that'll give us the angle measure. So 50 plus 56 divided by 2. So it'll be 106 divided by 2, which equals 53 degrees. So measure angle 1, 53 degrees. Then for number 2, we're finding this angle measure. However, they give us these arcs. So what we're going to do is actually find angle 1, which I'm labeling right here, and then that angle will be supplementary to angle 2, and I'll use that to find angle 2. But to find angle 1, I'm going to add 48 plus 38 and then divide by 2. Gives me 86 divided by 2, which is 43 degrees. So that's right here. And vertical angles are congruent, so that's both of those. And then to find angle 2, since we have this straight line right here, that means these two angles will be supplementary. 180 minus 43 equals 137 degrees.
$147?
137. Number 3. Now they're giving us this arc measure and we need to find the angle. We would divide 198 by 2 to get that angle measure. So we get 99 degrees. Ready to move to number 4. Measure of angle 4. The measure of angle 4 is going to be this arc measure divided by 2. However, they don't tell us what that arc measure is. To find it, we'll do 360 minus 124 because that'll give us that portion of the circle. 360 minus 124 equals 236. So that's the arc measure.
118?
And then we need to divide that by 2. And it does give us 118 degrees. Number 5. To find this angle measure, we're actually going to find this one first. We can find this angle measure by getting the average of these two arcs. 66 plus 50 divided by 2. 116 divided by 2 equals 58 degrees. So that's this angle. Shows the straight line, so that means these two angles are supplementary. 180 minus 58 gives us 122 degrees. So measure angle 5, 122 degrees. Measure of angle 6. So this is the one where we have to take this arc measure, divide by 2. To find this arc measure, we're going to do 360 minus 228 to get 132 degrees.
Divide by 2 equals 66.
Nice job. Okay. Next example, number 7. Number 7 here, now we have a new type of problem, just as you're getting used to those, right? This one, to find this angle measure, so we're going to find the measure of angle R equals 1/2, and we're going to subtract these two arcs. So it's 120 minus 40. So 1/2 of 80, half of 80 is 40, so measure of angle R equals 40 degrees. And number 8, same idea. We are going to find the measure of angle K, and that is going to be 1/2 72 minus this arc. Now they didn't give us this arc, so we have to figure it out. It gives us everything else though, so if we do 360 minus 100 minus 72 minus 140, we will get that arc. And if we subtract all this, we get 48 degrees. So this is 48. 72 minus 48 is 24. 1/2 of 24 is 12 degrees. So K is 12 degrees. Number 9. Same idea. Measure of angle U equals 1/2, and then we have to subtract these two arcs. This one we do not know, so we have to do 360 minus 144 minus 60 will give us just this arc. And this subtracts out to 156. So that's here. 156 minus 60. Half of 96 is 48. Measure angle U is 48 degrees. Number 10. This one shows that this line goes through the center of the circle. That means this is also like the diameter, and everything on this side of the circle would add to 180. So to find this arc, we can do 180 minus 45 to get 135 degrees. And then measure of angle S is 1/2 135 minus 45. 45 degrees, yeah. Am I going at an okay pace? And I'm going kind of quick,
Yeah.
but just to keep the attention. The next two are a little bit more challenging. They are definitely introducing some skills for Algebra 2, which is nice. This one says it wants the measure of DPA. So this arc right here is what it's looking for. However, they didn't give us anything but that angle measure. So since we're solving for DPA, we're going to call this X. And then this arc measure would be 360 minus X. So we're going to use the same equation. The angle measure, which they give us is 84 degrees, equals 1/2. And then this arc, x minus 360 minus x. And then we will solve for x. So I'm going to start by distributing that negative to both of those terms. So bringing everything down, distributing the negative, so it'll be negative 360 and positive x. Then I will combine like terms. So 84 equals 1/2, 2x minus 360. The next step is to distribute the 1/2. So it'll be 1/2 times 2x and 1/2 times negative 360. So I will get 84 equals x minus 180. So 1/2 times 2x is just x, and 1/2 times negative 360 is negative 180. And then x solves to 264 degrees.
What I was gonna do is find x by times it by 2, then add them both.
Number 12, same idea. This time it wants to know the measure of arc LJ, so this will be our x now. And then this will be 360 minus x. So setting it up, 34 degrees equals 1/2. And it's this arc minus this one. So we're going to do 360 minus x minus x. This one's actually a little bit easier to solve. When you solve this here, you get, oh, I don't have it written down there, hold on. 146. You got 214? I think it's 146. So if you subtract 180 from both sides, you probably add, yeah. Okay, now moving on to the back. So flip the page. And yes, we're going to keep solving. I'll make sure you have at least 20 minutes for homework. So we'll do about 10 more minutes. It might not even take that long now that we know what we're doing. Okay, measure of angle 1 this time. However, we're actually going to solve for this one first. So 56 plus 146 divided by 2 gives us this angle. And that comes out to 101.
I got 135.
Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. No. Let me get my calculator. So 56 plus divided by 2. Okay, I got 101. Okay, so that's 101. But then to find angle 1 right here, we have to do 180 minus 101. And we get 79 degrees. So measure angle 1, 79 degrees. Then number 2, we have to take this arc and divide it by 2. 360 minus 134 gives us 226. And then take 226 divided by 2, and we get 113. And I'm going to keep the pace just so we don't get too bored. Number 3, I need to take this arc and divide it by 2. So 360 minus 216 gives us 144. Then divide that by 2. Number 4, measure of angle R is 1/2 101 minus 39. That gives us 62. Half of 62 is 31 degrees. Number 5 is different from the ones we've practiced. This time we're going to find this arc measure right here. It gives us the degrees of the angle, so that is the angle measure, equals 1/2 59 minus x. And then we'll work it backwards to solve for the arc measure. So 15 degrees equals half of 59 is 29.5, and 1/2 times x would be negative 1/2 x. Subtract 29.5 from both sides. Negative 14.5 equals negative 1/2 x. So negative 1/2 is the same as negative 0.5. So when I divide both sides by this, I'm going to just divide it by negative 0.5. That way you can plug it in the calculator. And if you plug this in the calculator, you get 29. So x equals 29 degrees.
Is that a problem like we have on the homework?
Yes, but if you get it, it'll be the exact same one. Number 6, we have to find this arc measure so that way we can subtract them. So 360 minus 116 minus 62 equals 182. Then measure of angle R is 1/2 182 minus 62. Number 7. So here, same thing. Measure angle y equals 1/2 105 minus 63. 1/2 of 42, which is 21 degrees. Almost there, guys. 8 and 9 are those that are a little bit more challenging. So number 8, it wants to know the arc measure of CE, so this would be x, and then this would be 360 minus x. Gives us the degree measure of 52 degrees equals 1/2 360 minus x minus x. It's blurry. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is combine like terms, so 360 minus 2x. And then I'll distribute the 1/2 to both of those terms. Then when you solve for x, you would get 128 degrees. Number 9, same type of problem. YAB is x this time. So this is x, and this is 360 minus x. So 37 degrees equals 1/2. It'll be x minus 360 minus x. I'm going to distribute the negative. Then combine like terms. Then you would distribute the 1/2. And x would solve to 217 degrees. And the last one. The last one's actually pretty easy.
Would you give that one?
217 degrees. Okay, this problem says that Ricky has to kick a ball through a semicircle goal to score. If measure of arc XZ is 58 and measure of XY is 122. What angle must he kick the ball? So what's this angle here? So measure of angle B equals 1/2 122 minus 58. 122 minus 58 is 64. Half of 64 is 32 degrees. Measure of angle B equals 132 degrees. And that's it. Okay, so you still have 24 minutes to do your homework. So get your homework done. If you have questions, let me know. If you finish it early, then work on Khan Academy.